Now that you've set up your evaluations and added them to the appropriate sessions, you're going to want to go ahead and send them out to your educators when you're ready for them to complete them. So for that, we're going to go to Placements by Session. We're going to find the appropriate session here and go into the Post-Placement section. Then the first thing we need to do is we need to make sure we have the appropriate people selected to receive these evaluations. So for that, we're going to go to Manage Educators. And on this page, you're going to see a lot of information. You'll see your students' placement information here in this first column. And then the second column, Clinical Educators, this is going to be all of the staff people at that site that your student is placed at. Then in this Student Educators column, if your student has filled out that supervisor information or educator information session activity, that person that they've submitted as their educator will appear here. So what we're going to want to do is select who is the appropriate person to get this student's evaluation. So, here Jamal has thankfully told me exactly who his educator was, so I can select that James Smith is his educator. And over here, maybe Elaine and Chris have not done that yet, but I still need to go ahead and send those out. So maybe I happen to know here that, David is Elaine's educator and that Wendy is going to be Chris's educator. So I'm just going to want to make sure here to select those appropriate people. Whoever I've selected is going to appear in this educator or evaluator of record column. So this is going to be the person who is going to complete the student's evaluation. In some cases, you might have more than one person, and that's fine. Maybe, Elaine has 2 educators here. In that case, though, they are each going to get a separate evaluation that they're going to complete. All right, so we're going to want to go ahead and save that once we've selected all the appropriate people to receive the evaluations here. And then we do have one other really nice thing we can do on this page. So since Jamal has James here as his educator, and as you can see, James is not listed as one of the staff people at this site, I might choose that I want to add James as a staff person to that site. So if I want to do that, I have this purple mapping button. I can say I want to have James as one of my staff people at this site, so I want to make sure to add his information. So here I'm just going to click Add New Person. It's going to auto-populate with some of his information here, and I can go ahead and save that. Select James here again, that he's the one I want to add. Click Next. Then I'm going to choose his designation here and answer all of these questions we've gone over before about the types of emails that they should receive. All right, and now once I click Finish, James will be added as a staff person at that site. So kind of a nice additional feature here. When you're already on this page working on that, it's a good thing to check out. All right, so now I've chosen all of my educators here. I'm going to want to go ahead and go back to my post-placement page and go ahead and send them their evaluations. So for that, I'm going to go over here on the right to the evaluation form distribution. All right, so now you're on the evaluation form distribution. So you'll see your list of evaluations that you had set up previously will be here. You'll want to go to send each of these out separately. So when you're ready for your educators to fill out the midterm, that's when you'll go ahead and send this. So, maybe a week or 2 before the midterm, you don't want to send it out too early. They might lose that email. And also for each of these evaluations, they're going to get a unique link. You'll see you have an X here. That's because this is an evaluation filled out by the student, not filled out by the educator, so you don't need to send it to them. It just shows up in that session activity for them, the eval summary. But for this one I want to send out to my educators here, I'm going to go ahead and click Send Evaluations. Then you'll see it's going to load my list of students, and all of those evaluators that need to evaluate the students. So if people aren't showing up here, you will want to go check that Manage Educator page. Usually that's why, no one would be showing up here. So you're going to want to go ahead and choose everyone that you want to send it to. If it's all of the people on this page, you can just go ahead and click Select All. Then click Send Evaluation Notifications. So from here, you're going to have this template come up just like you do with any other email in our system. So you will want to go ahead and select the template. Lots of schools do like to have different templates here, so some schools will have one for, the FWPE midterm and another for the FWPE final, and then an additional one if they have like a level 1 FWPE. Other schools will even write particular ones for each rotation, level 1A, student evaluation email, level 1B student evaluation email, level 2A midterm FWPE email, level 2A final FWPE email, level 2B midterm FWPE email, and so on. So you could have lots of different ones here if you wanted. Just like with any of our emails here then, if you need to make changes to this, you can, and it doesn't change the template, just this one time of sending out the email to that group of people we selected on the previous page. And again, please just don't make any changes to any things with the pound signs or hashtags around them. Those are mail merge fields. If you start typing in the middle of that, you will cause the mail merge to not work. If you decide there is something that you don't want though, you can absolutely delete the entire field, like if you don't want the evaluation form name or whatever in there. All right, then if you scroll down here, you'll see you have some additional options. If you want to password protect the link here, you can do that. That's the link to the evaluation though, and you will need to make sure to share that password that you type in here with the educator in some way. If you'd like to copy yourself on those, you absolutely could, or you could BCC yourself. Overwriting the recipient's email is great if you're sending out a test, but really that's the only reason you would probably use that. If you have any attachments to add, maybe you have some extensive instructions you'd like to provide them or something that you have in a Word document, you could absolutely add those there. And then the number of days the link is active for, that's that link to the evaluation. So, after 90 days, they are no longer going to be able to complete that evaluation. Once you're done here, you'll go ahead and click Next. You'll see again that list of everybody that it's going out to, just making sure, we didn't accidentally select an educator we were not ready to send it to yet. But if we do want to send it to everyone here, we can go ahead and select all and then click Send. Now I can see that my emails went out and are sent to all of these people. If I want to scroll down here, I have a back button. I can click to go back. And that's just going to take me back to that distribution page once again. And I can see that list of people that it's going out to. And I can see the date that I sent the email and the status of the evaluation here. You can see it's color-coded. Red, it's not been submitted. Obviously not. I just, sent it out to them. Gold would mean they've saved it, they've been working on it, and green, it's been submitted, they've finished their evaluation.